All right, everybody, welcome back. Good afternoon. We've got some more strong safeties to look at here, and now we're in a little bit more of a reasonable place. These are, I would call them like low-end starters. They're pretty good. I think they're going to get a starting gig in 2025, but there is room for them to slip through the cracks and end up as like a third safety or a part-time player or a slot corner or something like that. And there may be a need for that here. So this I'm at least paying a little bit of attention to. So let's take a look at some of these strong safety options in the for Seahawks purposes. I would call them third safety. That may be something McDonald cares about, and if he cares about it, he's probably going to spend a meaningful resource on it. So if you don't do it in the draft, you got to do it here. So let's got three guys here that I think are going to get paid anywhere from 3 to 4 million a year for 1 year in all likelihood. First guy is going to be Chuck Clark of the Jets, formerly a Raven. Was having a nice little career, was doing good stuff for the Ravens for years, was basically a full-time starter. Good player, not necessarily elite or anything like that, but he was doing his thing, and then he tore his ACL and missed a whole season in what should have been his prime. Went to the Jets last year for 12 games, and he played. I mean, he played. It wasn't. He wasn't as good. That was the general consensus, but you wouldn't expect him to be as good coming off an ACL tear. So at about to be 30 years old, you would expect him to be better in 2025, but you're also going to be cautious because he just turned 30 when the season starts. Yeah, he's going to turn 30 in April. So Chuck Clark is hopefully going to be on a bounce back in 2025. PFF was not kind to him last year, like I said. I think that's a little understandable when you consider the fact he was coming off a major injury. 700 snaps, so he did play a decent chunk of the season, but I'm not going to judge him too harshly on this. Go back to 2022 when he was healthy, the grade was okay. 66. It was slightly above average, over 1,000 snaps. So that's not too bad. There's no market value page for him on Spotrac. I'm going to guess something like 1 year, 4 million. I think there is going to be some anticipation of a bounce back year. So I don't think he's going to get punished too hard, but you can't go too crazy with a guy who just turned 30 and is only a couple years removed from an ACL tear. So I'm going to say somewhere around there. It's going to be like 1 year, 4 million. He might get a starting job, but he is kind of on the fringe. He could definitely slip through the cracks and end up as like a backup safety or a third safety somewhere. And look, there's overlap, right? He was in Baltimore with McDonald for a little bit. Jordan Poyer would be the next guy I would consider in this realm. Much older, going to turn 34 in April. So we're definitely getting to the point where we have to think about the age factor. But he's only a few years removed from making a Pro Bowl, and he's like 4 years removed from making the All Pro first team. So he has been a good, effective player in his old age. Most of his best years were spent in Buffalo. He was a very good player in Buffalo for many years. And then they had to part ways with him because of salary cap reasons. He went to Miami and was good again. He had a good year for the Dolphins. So can still play, but that could change at any time. You're playing with fire here. But maybe a third safety role is just what the doctor ordered. He gets to dial down his snaps, only play maybe 500 or 550. Maybe that's something that can extend his career a little bit and allow him to focus more on playing well in a handful of snaps instead of all the snaps. That might be something that he, as a player, should be seeking out. PFF still thought he was decent last year, about average, top 100, barely, 62.5 on just under 1,000 snaps. So, I mean, you can still do it. Just have to wonder how much longer. So, you can play with a little bit of fire here for sure. And I don't think it's that bad because you should be giving him a reduced role anyway. And the year before that, 2023, I know that this was a long time ago in football parlance because he is old at this point, but 73 overall, one of the better safeties in the league on almost 1,000 snaps. He can probably give you that level of play again if you kind of pace him a little bit and allow him to, like I said, maybe it's more like 500 snaps in 2025 as a third safety. So the money part's a little hard to figure. Got 2 million with Miami. I guess he could get something like that again. I don't know if I see it. I don't know why he got so little money with Miami. I know he's old, but he continues to play well. My gut tells me this $2 million deal was kind of a fluke, like the Calais Campbell thing, and he's going to get like $4 million. But again, at this age, he could absolutely slip through the cracks and end up at 1 year, $2 million again, which would be great for any team that signs him. But 1 year, $4 million, I think would be a little more practical. And I don't think there would be anything wrong with that if he gives you good reps as a third safety, if he gives you quality depth and a rotational piece on the defense. I think that's okay. So Jordan Poyer, kind of interesting to me. The age is a problem, but he's been a very good player in his career, and he's proven recently as last year, he can still be a pretty good one. So definitely a thought. Okay, one more guy in this series, one more guy in this video here. Ashton Davis. Ashton Davis of the Jets. This is a slightly younger one. He turns 29 in October. He's only been in the league 5 years. All of it spent with the Jets. 1 year, he was a 10-game starter. Other than that, he's been very much a part-timer. Decent enough player, but has never played a big role. So maybe a third safety role would be good for him. Maybe that would just allow him to continue what he's been doing. He has proven to be a little bit of a ball magnet. Even though he gets limited snaps, he has 8 interceptions over the last 4 seasons combined. And this might be exactly what you're looking for if you're McDonald and you want a veteran third safety. PFF thought he was really good last year, 71.1, almost top 40 among safeties. Only 260 snaps, though, so that's the thing to keep in mind here. He is doing what he's doing in limited snaps. Year before that, he was graded even better, almost top 30, 72.6, 218 snaps. So you pace him, you let him kind of measure, you let him kind of pace himself. He's playing like maybe 15 snaps a game at most. It seems like you get really good stuff out of him. Now, can you expand that out to 500 and still get good results? Maybe. Theoretically, you should be able to. This is a relatively talented player. This is a player with pedigree. He was a early third round pick. And he's going to turn 29 in October, so he should be in his prime. So there's no market value page for him. But last year he got 2.7 million with the Jets for 1 year. I think he's going to get like 3 million this year, just a little bit of a pay bump, kind of like a cost of living adjustment almost. And I could see him being worth that. The difficult part is, can he maintain his level of play across a few extra snaps? If you give him even 20 snaps a game, can he maintain his quality of play? You believe so, but you don't know so until he does it. All right, so that was a quicker video than most of my primer videos, but that's really about it. That's what I see for the low-level starter / third safety starters. In this subsection, we're going to do one more safety video a little later, and then we're going to be good. So let me know what you guys think. See you guys soon. Go Hawks. We'll go over some depth options later. But, yeah, that's what I see in terms of the capable backups, the high-end backups / decent third safeties.